everyone, my name is Katie Michaelis and welcome to my channel. Today I've got a makeup tutorial for you on this gorgeous pink halo eye look with a matte pink lip. So I really hope that you enjoy. Be sure to subscribe to my channel before you leave and check out my social media links below. And let's just get started. Okay, so I'm going to start by taking the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water and I'm going to be spritzing that over my face just to refreshen my skin, get that moisture back and prep it for the makeup. Oh, so refreshing. Now moving on to primer, I'm going to be taking the Urban Decay Self-Adjusting Complex Primer and this just really softens the skin and creates like a blurring effect. So I'm just, oh my goodness. So I'm just rubbing this into my skin with my fingers. And this does have a tint to it. You wouldn't think it looking at the bottle, but I was very shocked to find out that it does have a tint to it. So you really just have to make sure that you rub it in really well. So now onto foundation. I have been loving... Sorry, I got the giggles. I have been obsessing over the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Full Coverage Foundation. And I've had this for a while and I've recently just rediscovered it. And I don't know why I ever put it down because it literally sits on my skin so well. It's full coverage, which I love. It just, I don't even know, like, it's just really good. So even though I do sometimes self-tan, I'm self-tanned right now, I like to buy my foundation shades in my natural skin color because I don't have the money to buy like 50 shades of each foundation. Like, no. So in this foundation, I'm in Fair Beige, aka transparent, but I like to mix in the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops in G80, and that way I can make my own custom colored foundation shade to suit my fake tan, whether it is faded, whether it's fresh, and I only have to buy one foundation. Now you only need the smallest drop of the Cover FX drops. They literally go such a long way. They're gonna last me a lifetime. I'm gonna be using a flat buffer brush to buff this into my skin. And even though this foundation is quite thick when you pump it out, it is so lightweight on the skin and it really doesn't get cakey. And I'm just using circular strokes to ensure there is no streakiness. Now that we have a full flawless base happening, I'm going to be taking the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in Chantilly, and this is my favorite concealer at the moment. I'm just going to be taking that on a beauty blender and applying that under my eyes and to the center of my face just to add that little bit more coverage because that's what I love, and to brighten those areas to bring some dimension back into the face. We're now going to be setting everything we've just done with the Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder in Translucent, and this will just ensure that all the products we've just applied won't slip and slide throughout the day and they're glued on your face. So I'm first just going to take my beauty blender and get rid of any creases that are on my eyelids or under my eyes because we don't want to be setting that. I'm then going to be taking the powder on a tapered brush and really focusing that powder under my eyes and on my eyelids, as that is where I'm prone to creasing the most. Then taking a big fluffy brush and setting the rest of my face. And I like to pack this in rather than buff it because otherwise I find that it can sometimes take off a little bit of my foundation. So to sculpt my cheekbones and add some warmth back into my face, I'm going to be taking the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette, and this is such a great affordable contour palette. Like, I'd recommend it so much. So I'm going to take the coolest color in the palette and I'm going to use this to kind of create a shadow under my cheekbones just to really hollow them out and make them look there. I'm now going to take the warmest color in the palette on a synthetic brush and I'm just going to be applying this to the perimeters of my face, so just above where we contoured, just on my temples, forehead. And I'm using this brush as I find it distributes the product really well. It gets rid of any harsh lines, and it also doesn't pick up too much product. So that means I can build up the product as much as I want. So we're now going to go onto the eyes and the brows. I just like to get the base and especially the bronzer down packed, because sometimes I can go hard out with the bronzer and wreck the end of my brows. And they take such a long time to do that I cannot afford for that to happen. So we're going onto the eyes and the brows, and we'll come back to the face later. Yeah. So for my brows, I'm going to be taking the Tarte Amazonian Clay Waterproof Brow Pencil in medium brown, and I'm going to use the spoolie to brush out my brows. So to do my brows, I create a line under them as my guideline, and then kind of brush the brows down a little bit, and then create the shape that I want using the pencil. And what I love about this pencil is it's really forgiving. So if I stuff up a little bit, I can kind of brush it out and good to go again. So when I get close to the beginning of my brows, I just like to take the pencil and create hair-like strokes, just so that the beginning looks very bushy and more natural looking. I'm going to be taking the Chi Chi Brow Pomade in dark brown just to really sharpen the ends of my brows. And I'm taking that on a Zoeva wing liner brush, and this brush is perfect for this step. It is so thin so you can create a really precise line, and it is stiff but not too stiff so you can create movement. I'm going to be taking the Benefit Give Me Brow in number 3, and this has changed my brow game. Like, I don't know what I did before this. Actually, I do know. I had clown block brows, but let's not talk about it. This product is a volumizing fiber gel, so it tints your brows and it makes them look so much fuller and more natural at the beginning of the brow. And I'd really recommend it for people who don't want to fill in their brows but just want them to look a little bit darker, more bushy, a bit fuller. Like, you need this in your life. And if you don't want to spend the money on the Benefit one, the Chi Chi Brow Fiber is a great dupe. Finally, we are setting the brows. No, I have not finished with the brows yet. It's a long process. So I'm just taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel, and this is like super glue for your brows. Like, once they're in place, they're not going anywhere. So the brows are done. Now moving on to the eyes. I'm going to be taking the Huda Beauty Textured Eyeshadow Palette in the Rose Gold Edition. And there are so many mixed reviews on this palette. I personally love it, but I can definitely see where people are coming from. The Textured Eyeshadows, which is the first row, is very chunky, but I find that once I warm the product up using my finger and then apply it to the lid, it works really well. But for people with long nails, that doesn't really work, you know. They can't apply it to the inner corner really precisely, and you can't apply these shadows using a brush. You have to use your finger. So depending on your nail situation, that might help you decide whether you do or you don't want this palette. So I'm going to start by taking Sandalwood on a fluffy brush, and I'm going to be applying this in and above my crease to act as my transition color, and this will help all the shadows that we apply later on blend seamlessly together. And I am creating a halo look today, so that means I'm going to be bringing that product all the way to the inner corner of my eye and working it in windshield wiper motions. I'm then going to be taking a little bit of Flamingo on another fluffy brush and applying that just below that first shade. And I definitely don't want this to be a super bright pink look, but I want a little bit of that bright pink undertone. And I am starting to focus that product on the outer and inner corner of my eye, and then blending it together to create the base of my halo eye, leaving the center of the lid bare. Now that everything's blended seamlessly together, I'm going to be going in with a Maneater and really start to carve out this halo eye. As I do have quite a small lid and hooded eyes, it is sometimes hard for me to create a halo eye look, so I like to take a small definer brush so that I can really get in that inner corner. Then just blending the shadows together. Okay, so you should be looking a little something like this. I'm then going to be taking the Too Faced Glitter Glue, and I use this no matter what look I'm doing. If I'm applying a foiled eyeshadow, a pigment, glitter, I always use this, as I find that it really intensifies the product and ensures that it is not going to budge. So I'm just applying this product to the center of my lid where I will be applying the textured eyeshadow. Then going in with the Rose Gold textured eyeshadow. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be so pretty. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah! I'm just applying this to the center of my lid, and I'm using my finger to kind of diffuse the edges of the product slightly. And then going back in with Maneater to really intensify this halo look and diffuse the edges of the textured eyeshadow. Okay, so it's time to curl my lashes before tight lining my eyes with a black eyeliner to make the root of my lashes look thicker. Now taking my Holy Grail favorite mascara that I cannot do makeup without, which is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I'm going to be applying a thick coat of that to my lashes. I then like to go over the tip of my lashes to make them super long using the L'Oreal Telescopic Extra Black Mascara. So I feel like with a pink eye look, you have to be careful that you don't go from a pretty pink eye look to looking like you have pink eye. So I feel like I can still push it that little bit further. So I'm going to be taking the Marc Jacobs Highliner Matte Gel Eye Crayon in Fine Wine and applying this in my waterline. These eyeliners are so creamy and pigmented. Makes it so easy to work with. Then taking Maneater and smudging that under my lower lash line before going back in with the Better Than Sex mascara and applying that on my lower lashes. Then going back into the NYX highlight and contour palette, I'm going to be taking that matte cream color and applying it to my brow bone to act as a highlight. So now going in with highlight, I like to use highlight before blush, as I kind of use the blush to blend out the highlight and make everything look seamless. So I'm going to be going in with the Makeup Forever Pro Light Fusion in number 1, and it's the most gorgeous iridescent pink color. It's just goes with this look so well. But first I'm going to be going in with the Kat Von D Lock-It Makeup Setting Mist, and this will not only set my makeup and make it last longer, but it will also intensify the highlight that I'm about to put on. And I like to do this rather than wetting my brush, as sometimes I can find that that makes the highlight a little bit chunky, and the Kat Von D one doesn't dry straight away, so I have that time to apply the highlight in the way that I want to apply it, and it's really intensified, and yeah. So pretty. I'm also going to be applying that in the inner corner of my eye. I'm then going in with the Too Faced Love Flush Your Love Is King blush. Wow, that was a tongue twister. And I'm going to be applying that to the apples of my cheeks and between my contour and highlight to really blend everything together. And this color is perfect for this look. Just adds a nice flush of color to my cheeks. Then going back in with the Kat Von D Setting Mist to lock everything into place. Now for lips, I'm going to be taking the Chi Chi Stay On Lip Liner in Fly Girl. I love these lip liners. They're so creamy and easy to apply. Then going in with the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in Double Dare, and I love this formula. It is literally budge proof, yet it doesn't dry out and suck the life out of your lips. And this is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!